Claudelle, once again, welcome to Colombia and thanks for sharing some minutes to talk about your presentations. The internal auditors as an agent of change and key characteristic of an effective internal auditor. Auditors in general know perfectly well their roles in a company, but world has changed and now we have to face new challenges. What would be the new role of an internal auditor in the organization?
Thank you, Anna Christina, and it is an absolute pleasure being in your country. Certainly, one of the biggest issues is that internal auditors are expected to move from the back room to the boardroom, to use the words of our Mervyn King, acute business acumen and being able to give insight into the organization, to the leadership. But of course, with that, providing insight with the recommendations, inevitably it means that changes need to occur in the organization. And from that perspective, internal audit needs to see their role as change agents, understand that they have a very proactive role to play within their organization, and that there are consequences of recommending change. So they need to also look at the risk that comes with the organization going through change. Often organizations go through frame-breaking change and 75% of the time it fails. So they need to understand what the consequences are going to be, look at the human factor in the process and how it will impact, how the changes will impact on the people in the organization. Because the last thing you want to happen is that you make a recommendation to change for the better, but you change for the worse because the performance of the people go down as a result of not implementing the change properly.
Talking about skills, what are the most important skills an auditor must develop to be in concordance with the modern organizations?
There are a range, but for me at this point, the one that I would like to highlight that I think is really important is for internal auditors to have vision. And what I mean by that, not in the traditional vision, mission statement type of vision, but specifically referring to the root of the word vision, it means to see. That is the ability to see within the organization what the risks are, the ability to see outside of the organization, within industry, within country, within region, within the world, and how those risks and changes will impact on the organization. So it's really about scanning the environment and being able to give management insight in terms of how those would impact on the organization. Having vision, very, very important key.
What are other elements internal auditors must have in mind to improve their relationships with the organizations?
Now that's a very important question, Anna Christina. As often I think that people tend to focus on the technical skills and neglect the soft skills. If you are going to make any significant contribution in the organization, you have to understand that you're going to achieve those through building relationships. You know, in the old days, internal auditors were seen as watchdogs, as policemen, and people were afraid when the internal auditor comes around. And the result of that has been resistance. Now, if you're going to get findings implemented or recommendations implemented, you are going to need to break the resistance, and how you do that is by building good relationships. And there are a number of ways in doing that, but the key is to understand that you're dealing with human beings. When you're dealing with management, management would resist if they think that they're going to be exposed. So you help them in terms of the findings that you bring to the table, to understand that you're there to assist, that you're there to help, that you're there to make things better, as opposed to just putting their laundry out there for everybody their dirty laundry out there for everybody to see. In addition, I think it is also very important that we reflect on how we are being perceived. You know, so if you walk in with a stern face, the reaction that you're going to get is how people would react to a stern face. We often don't do enough reflection on self. What is it that people see when I walk into the room? And what do I need to counteract any negative perceptions so that I can have positive results?
Thanks, Claudelle. I hope you have enjoyed Colombia.
It's been absolutely fantastic being here. I think the people in Colombia are fantastic. Thank you very much.